Chapman News. A plane crash in South America kills 71 people on their way to a legendary sporting event.
Plus, spotted gray whales seen for the first time this year off the SoCal coast.
And saluting our godfather here at Dodge College, we remember the great Larry Dodge. This and more coming up on Chapman News.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Friday with Chapman News. We are so happy that you all could join us after our break for Thanksgiving and be here to watch our show.
Yes, it's been a week full of news ranging from Donald Trump's thank you tour, Kanye West's 911 call, and a plane crash in Colombia that took 71 lives.
That's right, Nicole. A lot to discuss, and we have all the info. Let's get started with our top stories. A charter flight from Bolivia to Colombia crashed and killed at least 71 people on Tuesday. Lamia Flight 2933 crashed into the Colombian hillside while carrying 81 people, 20 of which were journalists, headed to report on a legendary game for the Brazilian Chapecoense soccer club, which was happening on Wednesday. It was the first time since the 1970s that the team had made it to the Copa Sudamericana finals. The British airspace plane declared an emergency while in the air and then lost radar contact just before 10 p.m. Monday. Authorities in the aviation department say there was an electrical failure that potentially caused the crash. 130,000 people came for what would have been the Copa Sudamericana game to honor the team. They released 71 pigeons to honor those fallen.
It was years in the making, but the city of Santa Ana now has a new homeless shelter. As Shannon Dominguez reports, the shelter is an old structure, but offers new hope to hundreds of residents.
A place for people on the go just became a place for people to stay. The former Santa Ana bus terminal opened on October 5th as a temporary 24-hour homeless shelter, which is now called the Courtyard. After the Santa Ana City Council declared a public health and safety homeless crisis, the County Board of Supervisors purchased the property at 400 West Santa Ana Boulevard for $3.3 million in December of 2015.
Without this, I have nothing. I have nowhere to go. I have nowhere to sleep, nowhere to eat.
The county awarded a $1.4 million one-year contract to Midnight Mission, a nonprofit organization based in Los Angeles, to operate the shelter. About 400 people are able to sleep at the old terminal, where they will be divided into areas designated for couples, individuals, people with pets, and those ready to move into housing.
Here you have food, you have shelter, you have friends, you have community, you have mental health, you have people helping you every day. There's showers here, you wash your clothes here. There's nowhere else you can do this.
The shelter will offer motives in order for people to feel welcomed and to take advantage of its services. According to Supervisor Andrew Doe, the Courtyard is essentially focused on getting homeless people rehoused and self-sufficient. Reporting from Santa Ana, Shannon Dominguez, Chapman News.
Former USC running back Joe McKnight was killed yesterday, during a shooting in his home state of Louisiana. Police believe that McKnight was shot during an argument with another man. Witnesses say the two had been driving aggressively and believe that road rage led to the shooting. McKnight spent 3 years as the star running back at the University of Southern California and ranks 14th on the all-time rushing yards list and was once called the next Reggie Bush. Many of McKnight's former teammates took to Twitter to express their condolences for their former teammate. McKnight played 5 years for 2 NFL teams and was most recently seen playing football in Canada.
Architect of the Cuban Revolution and former Soviet-style communist leader Fidel Castro has died at the age of 90. After 11 U.S. presidential administrations and over a rumored 600 assassination attempts by Western nations, state-run Cuban news outlets have announced the former president passed away of natural causes. The 90-year-old former dictator spent his last years quietly as his brother Raul Castro handled political leadership of the island nation.
There may be no bigger issue on college campuses these days than sexual assault. There's many ways to raise awareness, and Celine Francois reports on a 25-year tradition at Chapman to do just that.
As the afternoon bell brings an end to the morning, this powerful display has only just begun.
This past Wednesday, on October 12th, right here in the Atella Piazza at Chapman University, the student activist organization CARES hosted their most recent demonstration, a tradition that started back in 1990. CARES stands for Creating a Rape-Free Environment for Students. Their programs help educate young adults about sexual assault prevention. Their most recent educational push, the Clothesline Project.
By offering the opportunity to make a shirt, to put their message on a shirt, it helps, in my opinion, it helps people find their voice. It can be very empowering. When I see the shirt, each person is present here, their story, their voice. It's easy for folks to kind of shake off statistics when you hear the stats, 1 in 5, 1 in 6. But when you see the shirts, I think it's much more difficult to ignore.
CARES members work hard to make sure their message is sent across clearly.
I hope that, people become much more open-minded about this kind of situation and how serious it really is. And for those who've been affected by it, that they can feel more comfortable and open with sharing these kind of information, and to know that there are people out there who are really happy to support them, especially their classmates.
Really just spark a conversation with our school community to recognize that this does happen, and it's something that shouldn't be swept under the rug or not talked about.
CARES doesn't stop with just this project. Up next, on October 26th at 11:30 a.m. is the Walk Against Violence. Students will walk in heels or not from the piazza to the Circle downtown in order to raise awareness for sexual assault prevention. Reporting from Chapman University, Celine Francois, Chapman News.
Thanks, Celine. Switching gears a little bit here, tomorrow is Chapman's 3rd annual Excellence in Journalism Day, and it will take place right here on campus.
That is right. And here to tell us a little bit more about the event is Chapman professor and OC registered journalist Dennis Foley. Thank you for being here, Dennis.
Thanks for joining us.
So how are you feeling about tomorrow, and can you tell us a little bit about how the event got started?
Sure. Journalism Day is first and foremost for inspiration and for instruction, people to learn techniques and tips they can use immediately to improve their journalism. And for 3 years we've been asking, and thankfully a lot of really great journalists have agreed to come in and share their knowledge and their experience and help students and other professionals and teachers learn more about this crazy profession.
This crazy world that we're going into. Now, you say great journalists, and when I think of that, I want to know, who are these great journalists? Who can we expect tomorrow?
Let's see. The names might not necessarily be meaningful to a lot of people, but a half a dozen Pulitzer Prize winning journalists, half a dozen people with multiple broadcast Emmys, Peabodys, DuPonts, national awards from the Online News Association, people who are innovators in the field of digital technology, one of the world's most esteemed drone experts.
Wow.
People with entertainment and sports background across the spectrum of TV and print and digital, nonprofit investigative news agencies, mainstream media, radio. It's
Sounds like a lot of people.
all encompassing. It's about 30 speakers.
That's amazing. So is this event open to just journalism students, or is it open to all students?
It's open to everybody, and it's free. So let me emphasize that, it's free.
Will there be free food? That is the real question.
Yes, actually there's free coffee in the morning
could you not
during the
attend?
welcome, and
All
there's a
right.
free box lunch.
I'm in. That's all you had to say.
That's
You
all you
say
had
the
to
word and I'm there.
Now, one final question for you. You and I were talking about this earlier. There's a photog coming who was the first on scene at San Bernardino at the shooting, so we're actually a year ago today.
Right.
Can we expect anything specific as far as, from a Chapman News perspective, hearing how he was able to do that and kind of those sorts of stories from the people coming to Journalism Day?
I think everybody has a wealth of stories and experience, and he's in fact one member of a panel. The other panel members are the editor who supervised all of the coverage for all of the Southern California News Group newspapers, including the Register and the Riverside and San Bernardino, and the reporter from San Bernardino who had to cover the aftermath as well as the tragedy itself.
Wow. Okay. And one final question for you, Nicole. I think you and I are both curious. What does the schedule look like? When should we be there? What should we expect at what time?
9:30 is welcoming remarks and coffee. 10
Free
o'clock
coffee.
is the first set of panels. There'll be 3 panels going at the same time, hour and 15 minutes, 2 sets of panels, lunch, another set of panels, and then a closing panel on a really key and timely topic, is objectivity dead?
Okay.
And so we have some nationally recognized people in the field to sort of help that conversation move along.
To learn more about that, we'll
Wonderful.
find out. Is objectivity really dead? Go tomorrow to find out. Well, thank you, Dennis Foley, so much for being here. We really
Yes.
appreciate your
You're
time.
welcome. Thanks for having
Thank
me.
you for joining
Of course,
us.
of course.
Although we're excited about the excitement of Journalism Day and all the holidays coming up, we are producing today's newscast with heavy hearts. That's because our school bears the name of Lawrence and Christina Dodge College. Well, Larry Dodge died this week. He was 77. And forgive the cliche, but Larry was larger than life.
Our professor, Pete Weitzner, knew Larry fairly well and was more than fond of him, has many great memories with him. He joins us now to talk about his friend and about a great friend to our film and TV school, Larry Dodge. Pete, how are you feeling today after this loss?
We lost a great man, a great man. He was another cliche, one of those 10 people, 5 people you hope to meet in your life. And I think maybe the greatest example, I knew Larry for about 15 years. He never, with all he accomplished in business, for our film school, civic giving, never talked about himself, only wanted to talk about you. I met him, I think I was fairly, I had just gotten, was going through a divorce, and he was like, Pete, how you holding up? Like, professionally, what are you working on these days? That's the kind of guy he was.
So he cared about everybody around him, but he also expected a lot out of people, didn't he?
This is what made Larry so unique. So through Larry being associated with our film school, first he connected the film school to people like Governor Schwarzenegger, who was one of our stars on our walk, and we got to do some fun shoots with the governor. He was at our opening gala, but he also connected people like me to a lot of folks that Larry would host at his house, like the governor, like Mitt Romney when he was running for president. Small, intimate gatherings that I had no business being at. So yes, you'd get access to that, but it wasn't free. It was free, but then when, say, the Romneys would leave or the governor would leave and most of the conversation would be about policy, Larry would look at you, and now there's only 4 or 5 people left, and it's 1 a.m, and you've been eating a feast all day, and he'd look at you and go, well, Pete, what do you think? Well, what about Mitt's? I'm like, dang, he called on me.
Hope you're paying attention.
There you go.
I think I faked it well, but he didn't just care about it, he wanted to elevate people. He wanted everyone to achieve their best. I mean, Larry was from nothing. He was from the Midwest, from modest roots. He's a self-made man, and was so important, of course, to our film and TV school.
Definitely. His influence here has been huge. How did he find his way to Chapman?
He and Christina had a big interest in filmmaking. In fact, they produced several films, one with Meryl Streep, I believe. So he was very interested in film and TV as the storytelling format of the 21st century, and really took a liking to. He was on. They didn't just write a check and thanks, great, I did this giving, I have a deduct. They were always on campus. Christina was one of my students for a couple of classes.
Wow.
So this was a perfect fit for Larry, but hands off, just wanted to see good stories, stories well told, and we're really gonna miss him. Real quick, he was closest here, I'd say, of course, to our dean, Bob Bassett, and the dean shared with us in Larry's final weeks. He was in hospital. In his final weeks, he was still, because we were always have initiatives going on. Larry was intimately involved. Like, why don't we do this? Why don't when he knew he wouldn't be here much longer.
Wow. A committed force here on campus. Well, thank you, Pete Weitzner, so much for joining us. And we will be right back after the break.
Follow your dreams. Chapman University. History, philosophy, peace studies, languages. Study abroad. and explore the world. Become a global citizen. The Wilkinson College at Chapman University. Invest your humanity. Lead.
Hello and welcome back. Both Netflix and Amazon Prime have video libraries so large that they put cable TV channels to shame. But on this week's Week in Tech, Robert Rosenfeld tells us what one company is doing to give consumers the best of both worlds.
Cable companies have been pretty staunch opponents of the whole cord-cutting movement for a few years now, but that's about to change with DirecTV. The cable giant, owned by AT&T, has started streaming over 100 TV channels completely online earlier this week. The new service, called DirecTV Now, offers staple cable networks like ABC, NBC, and Fox, plus dozens of other TV channels that can be viewed online both live and on demand. The service starts at $35 a month and includes a free Apple TV, mainly because it only currently works on Apple's set-top streaming box. Missing features like Android support and DVR functionality are expected to come in the coming months. Amazon's intelligent voice assistant-powered speaker, the Amazon Echo, may soon be getting a very powerful hardware upgrade. Bloomberg reported earlier this week that sources inside Amazon are saying that the company is working on a new Echo with a built-in screen and a high-end speaker system. Bloomberg says the new device is targeted directly for the kitchen and may take several design cues from the current Amazon Fire tablets. The Seattle-based company has sold over 3 million Echoes in the past 9 months alone, making Amazon the new frontrunner in this newfound smart home territory. Okay, Google, your turn. Just weeks after a Netflix executive skirted around the question in a CNBC interview, the streaming video giant announced on Wednesday that offline playback is now an official feature on mobile devices. Though shows available for download and offline playback are currently limited mostly to Netflix's original content library, that's certainly not a bad thing. Netflix originals include House of Cards, Narcos, and Stranger Things, and they're all available to watch offline, as well as other random choices like Breaking Bad and Parks and Rec. So grab some waffles, a tent, and a few friends, and enjoy your next Netflix binge in the great outdoors. I'm Robert Rosenfeld, and that's the Week in Tech.
Apple is looking to improve road directions by taking its tech to the sky. The Cupertino company is reported to be eyeing aerial drone technology to improve the data used by Apple Maps for mapping and navigation. Bloomberg News reports that the drones will be able to connect mapping data far quicker than the traditional GPS satellite systems currently used. Bloomberg is also reporting that Apple has already received a special clearance from the FAA and plans to debut the new drone program sometime next year.
News site Breitbart, known for publishing far-right news, is encouraging readers to boycott Kellogg's products after the company announced its decision to pull advertising from the news organization. Kellogg said it decided to end its relationship with Breitbart because the news expressed on the site do not align with the company's values. Breitbart editor-in-chief Alexander Marlowe issued a statement in response encouraging their 45 million monthly readers to boycott Kellogg's products. As of Thursday morning, over 100,000 people have signed a petition against Kellogg's. Man, that's just unfortunate. I love Fruit Loops.
Me too. That's a bummer, but I think I'm just going to keep eating them. You know, you can't say no to Kellogg products. They're
Cocoa
everywhere.
Puffs.
Oh my gosh, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Literally, that is me. You know, I wonder if there's any Cocoa Puffs out where Nikki Lorenzen is at the Irvine Spectrum at the ice skating rink. Let's find out and hear about anything going on out there for the winter holidays. Nikki, what's happening out there?
Thanks, Emily and Nicole. I'm out here enjoying all things holidays at the Irvine Spectrum Shopping Center here with Sophia Lays. We're literally on the ice right now, enjoying this beautiful windy day. So tell me, what does the Irvine Shopping Center this holiday have to offer?
We have so much fun for everybody. Obviously, we have our ice skating. It's a little bit windy today. We have a giant wheel, we have Santa, we have a beautiful show in Edwards Court on a 50-foot LED Christmas tree. Happens every half hour starting at 5 p.m. to 11. This really cool light show set to music. It's just fun throughout the entire shopping center.
We've been hearing so much about that giant Christmas tree. We're so excited. And what else does this shopping center have to offer in way for Chapman student discounts? What can we look forward to?
So we love Chapman students here at Irvine Spectrum Center. If you guys want to come now between New Year's and enjoy our giant wheel, you get buy one, get one free rides for Chapman students if you show your student ID, as well as here at the ice rink. If you show your ID now through December 15th, then you get $4 off. It's $16 skating instead of $20. So come on down, enjoy some icy fun.
Well, that sounds like a great date to me. So I've been really good this year, and I heard that Santa is coming, so where can I meet him?
Santa is in his Crystal Cove inspired beach shack in our carousel court, and he is open daily from 12 to 8. So come on down, take some photos with Santa.
I was so excited. There's so much fun to be had here, and I gotta go chill out. I think we're gonna do some laps around the rink here, but back to you guys in the studio.
Wow, that looks like a dream come true, but I will say I'm incredibly uncoordinated. I cannot let go of the wall at the ice skating rink, so if we go together, I need to hold on
I know. Be safe, Nikki. I mean, you can hold on to me, but I'm going to need a walker, so we'll have the walker, and then you can hold on to me because I am
Maybe we'll just
terrible.
watch. Let's just watch.
I'm pretty sure I broke my toe bone the last time I went ice skating, so.
So no ice skating for Emily and Nicole, but maybe for Nikki and everyone else.
Well, 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 look what we have here. The first killer and gray whales of the season were spotted last week off the coast of Dana Point. Dave Anderson of Captain Dave Dolphin Company spotted a large pod of about 40 killer whales. The pod moved all the way up the coast through Dana Point, Laguna Beach, and Newport Beach, with about a dozen whale watching groups following. Captain Dave's tour turned their expected 2.5-hour trip into a 4-hour trip just to follow this large pod. This year has brought decreased numbers of most whales traveling through the Orange County coast, so this large pod was definitely welcome.
How is this for a star-studded cast? We have Matt Damon, Josh Brolin, Julianne Moore, and George Clooney, my mother's favorite. The film's called Suburbicon, and you might recognize some of the scenery. Tasha Rebensdorf explains.
Hollywood has brought the 1940s and 1950s back to Fullerton, where Orange County residents have come out to see the film set of George Clooney's new movie, Suburbicon. The film crew has been working hard to make this street look like a 1940s and 1950s neighborhood.
With all the set and everything, it looks like the 50s. I imagine the colors of the houses are so pretty.
The film crew transformed the street by adding new garage doors, fake grass, and vintage cars. Fullerton residents are excited to see the film.
I want to see like the movie come to life and something that I know and drive around.
Filming is also taking place here at Nicholas Junior High School, where George Clooney was seen playing baseball just a few days ago. The movie is directed by Clooney and stars Matt Damon, Josh Brolin, and Julianne Moore. Fullerton residents will be sure to check out the film in 2017. From Fullerton, I'm Tasha Rebensdorf for Chapman News.
Wow, coming out in 2017, that's the year we graduate. Oh. But you know, unrelated to that, Nicole, I've been thinking more about this ice skating thing, and I think if we really want to go, we're going to need to wear a lot of layers so that we have padding for when we fall on the ice.
Oh yeah, absolutely, because that would hurt. But let's check in with Evan at the Weather Center to see what the weather's going to be like on the ice in the rest of SoCal. Evan, what's going on?
Hey guys, yeah, it will be cooler this week, cooler than we've seen in the last couple weeks. 67 degrees right now at noon here on this Friday afternoon. Still very sunny, but a lot of wind in the Southern California area. Looking at the Orange County forecast right now, like I said, cooler temperature. 69 degrees in Westminster, Orange 69. Down in Laguna Beach, 70 degrees. We'll pull out to the greater Southern California area where those temperatures are still getting cooler as we see. 64 degrees right now in Santa Barbara, 66 in LA. And look at that, Big Bear Lake, 34 degrees, a very cool temperature. Even in Palm Springs, where we're used to seeing very hot temperatures, we're seeing only 64 degrees. So let's take a look at our 5-day outlook. Right now, we're seeing 69 degrees, a 44 of a low for the week. And throughout the week, we're seeing those 40-degree lows. On the weekend, we're seeing 72 degrees both Saturday and Sunday before it starts to cool down a little bit more on Monday. And then on Tuesday, a very cool 61 degrees and a low of 40. And moving on to some breaking news in the South, tornadoes. Over 3 dozen tornadoes have hit the South. That's Tennessee, Louisiana, Mississippi area. That has left 7 people dead, more than 25 injured, and that's 20 buildings being destroyed in the last couple days. One of those included is the daycare center where more than 4 people have been taken to the hospital. We'll keep you guys updated with the latest as that information comes in. But moving on to the Irvine area, the Irvine Regional Park is going to be having a Christmas train. We've moved on from that Thanksgiving holiday season. Now we're into the Christmas season, so you can head over to the Irvine Regional Park. It'll only be 73 degrees, as you can see, for that week, and that'll be going all the way through December 23rd. It's only $12 to take that train up to go see Santa, so it's a great time. That's all that's in the Weather Center. Moving over to Allison with the latest in sports. Allison?
Basketball is heating up the winter sports schedule, and we've got highlights to show for it. Coming up next on the Best Campus Sports Show.
One in 13,200,000. Odds of being struck by lightning, 1 in 576,000. Odds of dating a supermodel, 1 in 88,000. Odds of bowling a perfect game, 1 in 11,500. Odds of being trapped in an elevator, 1 in 24,528. Odds of catching a ball at a major league game, 1 in 563. Odds of an injury from shaving, 1 in 6,585. Odds of tripping while texting, 1 in 10. Odds of getting cancer in your lifetime, 1 in 2 men, 1 in 3 women.
It's up to us
to change the odds for our generation.
for the ones we love, for our future.
If you don't like the odds,
Stand up. Stand up to cancer.
Hey, and welcome to the Best Campus Sports Show. I'm Allison Arthur. Today we are making the transition from one sports season to the next. December is here and fall sports have wrapped up. Even though coverage of the best highlights can be found here on the Best Campus Sports Show, we couldn't do it without the efforts of our live game broadcasters, CSBN. There were a lot of memorable moments to look back on this fall season, and here's 5 of our favorites.
Up towards Mattioni. Gonna be headed away. It's still in some space. Daniel Malachiar!
And that's it. Money.
It went through all the defenders. Usually that ball's tipped away, ping-ponged out of there. It went straight through everyone and into the goal.
Looking to pass, looking left. And finding his man down the middle and intercepted by Chapman. Chris Williams. Oh, wow, what a great play. That was a great catch. Just read the quarterback's eyes, saw that he was going down the middle, and went to that receiver's route, got the ball.
Back to pass again is Ricky Batista. He's looking to run. He can do that as well. And he's going to get him first down and more. Looking for the end zone now. Ricky Batista getting things started quickly for the Panthers.
Just over a 1-minute drive, and an amazing drive at that. Ricky Batista showing everything in his arsenal. That's a reason.
They're gonna hand off to Muti. Looks like we have an end around. They're gonna look deep. Jacob Isabel. He catches it. He pushes off his defender. Touchdown, Panthers.
And a little trickery there employed by the Panthers. I thought you were right. They were going for a basic end around and we're going to let him run it. He cocks back to throw it and he finds Isabel deep in the end zone. Beautiful play by the Panthers.
I got it.
That was awesome.
This is standard definition greatness. Grant Fremerlid handing the ball to Ryan Honored. Make me a bicycle clown.
Oh my God. Yes, that was a bicycle kick by Ryan Onart of the Panthers men's soccer team, which also made it onto ESPN SportsCenter's top 10 that day. The women's basketball team had their first game since break against the 8th-ranked George Fox Bruins, their second top 10 opponent of the year. They held tough with Texas Tyler, but the Bruins brought a new brand of basketball. In the first half, Chapman held tough. Both teams traded blows effectively. Chapman senior Megan Charles kept the game close with this buzzer beater to end the half. As the second half got underway, both teams played smart defense, but the points still came. Megan Charles with the 2 from the elbow, and Jamie Hume Nishikado got to the corner, 3 to go. However, George Fox's offense was too strong as they ended the game on a 10-4 run. Not even Charles's 22 points were enough to take down the Bruins. George Fox wins this one, 77-65. As we close out 2016, let's take a look at how our Panthers will finish up the year. Men's and women's basketball take over the schedule with 6 games between now and the end of finals week. All the games are non-conference matchups except for the one on December 11th. That will be the first SkyAct game for the women as they go to Pomona-Pitzer. That's all I have for sports. And hey, here's a guy we haven't seen much this semester. Ian Decker is over in the Entertainment Center.
Thanks, Allison. Up next, say goodbye to Wi-Fi. Netflix is taking video streaming to a new level. Plus, the highest paid musicians of 2016. Find out who tops the list. I'm Ian Decker. You're watching Chapman News.
They call me Maxie, but I prefer tripod. I was your above-average four-legged homie and then wham-bam minivan. Some people pity me. Now that's lame. I still run, fetch, and swim. And the ladies love me. I'm the ultimate wingman. Just don't ask me to high five.
Follow your dreams. Chapman University. Chemistry, physics, computational science, biology. Start doing research in your first year. Soar to new heights. The Schmidt College of Science at Chapman University. Explore.
And we're back. Emily, this has been a pretty great week for all of us millennial binge TV watchers, and a great week for Taylor Swift.
That's right. Maybe not such a great week for other people in the entertainment industry, but Ian has the scoop on all of that and what else is going on. Ian, what's happening in the entertainment world?
Thanks, ladies. Netflix recently made a jaw-dropping announcement that is bound to please everyone. The company announced Wednesday you can officially watch Netflix offline. You can now download select movies and shows to your smartphone or tablet and then watch them back without having to connect to the internet. Not every movie and TV show is offered in this offline streaming, but Netflix will add to its list. Right now, some of the options are Orange is the New Black, Stranger Things, House of Cards, and a ton of movies. Let the binge watching continue. With another season getting underway, we have the nominees for the 2017 Critics' Choice Awards. La La Land is dancing its way to winning a lot of hardware this season. They scored 12 Critics' Choice nominations, including Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling for Best Actress and Best Actor, respectively, as well as Best Director and Best Picture. Arrival and Moonlight are right behind with 10 nominations. Some other films getting Oscar buzz are Manchester by the Sea and Jackie. The Critics' Choice Awards help decide which films will go on to the Golden Statue at the Academy Awards. This year's awards will air December 8th at 8 p.m. Eastern on A&E. Now, we've had a week to recover from all the anticipation and the roller coaster of emotions that came with watching Gilmore Girls: A Year in the Life. We won't give away any spoilers in case you haven't seen it yet, but let's just say many fans laughed, cried, and above all were shocked by those famous last 4 words in the last episode of the revival. We won't spill the beans, but many of the cast members were just as surprised. Here's some of the reactions from the Gilmore Girls themselves.
She was like, oh, it's blah, blah, blah. And I was like, huh. Wow. Really? That was my reaction.
Let me read that again. It still was a shock when I when I read it because everything leading up to it doesn't necessarily take you there, right? Yeah. I don't know.
It's not what I mean from an acting point of view. Or from a person point of view. It's not what I expected it to be.
Yeah.
If you've seen the revival, you know what we're talking about. Here's hoping that more Gilmore Girls is in the works. Forbes released their list of 2016's richest musicians this past Wednesday, with Taylor Swift coming in at number 1. The 26-year-old singer-songwriter raked in a cool $170 million between tour dates, album sales, and endorsement deals, making it the most lucrative year of her career so far. One Direction came in second place with $110 million in profit last year, securing them the title of top-earning boy band of all time. Several aging rockers also had a good year, with AC/DC, the Rolling Stones, and Bruce Springsteen all making their way into the top 15. And last but not least, happy birthday, Britney Spears. That's all we have for entertainment. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks so much, Ian. As everyone is getting holiday shopping done across the country, one beaver in Maryland decided he didn't want to miss out on any of the sales.
Well, damn. The St. Mary's County Sheriff's Department reported Tuesday that a beaver was apprehended after causing damage to Christmas decorations on sale in the dollar store, where he probably saw my roommate, McKenna Coslow.
The suspect tried to flee the store but was caught by animal control. That beaver was likely just trying to get to those Black Friday prices as quickly as possible.
You know, I can't say I blame the beaver. You gotta go for cheap Christmas gifts while you can, especially if you have a big family.
I don't know what I would have done if I would have saw a beaver in the grocery store.
Me either. I don't know. Do you catch it? Do you pick it up? Do you call someone?
Do you pet it? Do you wave? Do you take a picture?
Maybe you get that as your Christmas gift. Is that
Christmas card, if you get the photo.
There you go. We're ready for everything.
Well, that is all we have for you today here at Chapman News. Thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/Chapman News, Twitter and Instagram at Chapman News.
And YouTube at youtube.com/Chapman News. Thank you so much for joining us, everyone. We'll see you right here next Friday at noon. I'm Emily Beal.
And I'm Nicole Renard, reporting for the last time at the anchor desk for Chapman News.
Bye, everyone. All right.